So you keep seeing these shorts of houses in Texas that are $300,000 to $400,000, and they're enormous. And I'm sure you're wondering, how come homes in Texas are so much cheaper than coastal states? And no, it isn't because Texas is a bad place to live. After all, it's the second most populous state in the union. So today I'm going to give you the 4 biggest reasons that Texas homes are so cheap. Texas has an abundance of land available to build on. A lot of Texas is in plains country. On the west coast states, a lot of land is mountainous and hard to build on. Here in Texas, you can build on almost all of it. That makes land really cheap, which is a major cost to building in every state. Property taxes help in a few ways, but owning a lot of land in Texas and not using it for anything is extremely expensive. Now, the only people in Texas who can own land and not take it on the chin are people who can get tax exemptions, such as using it for ranching or farming, getting it designated as a nature preserve, or a few other means. But this prevents rich people from gobbling up thousands of acres of land and sitting on it for no purpose. As much as people rag on Texas, it has a very progressive tax system that benefits the formation of a middle class. Texas also doesn't punish people who earn a living. There's no income tax here, and it aims to lower your tax burden for owning a personal residence while making it more costly to own rental properties or sit on unused land. There is a reason rich people in Hawaii are able to own multiple acres of land on a tiny island, because property taxes in Hawaii are very low while income tax is high. That tax system is actually called a regressive tax system, designed to keep the poor poor and the rich rich. And most coastal states have similar tax systems. Texas is the opposite. It favors those who provide productive means to the state. Zoning. Now, Texas is so big, if one city decides to be difficult with zoning, codes, and prevent redevelopment, it's easy to move 10 feet over and build a new community right next to an existing one. This means that cities have to remain competitive. And because property taxes are higher here, cities are always concerned with keeping building costs down and not driving them up with unnecessary zoning restrictions or putting projects into turnaround because of NIMBYism. And as a side note, there's an abundance of water along the eastern half of Texas due to the thousands of man-made reservoirs and good rainfall here in Texas, which means water shortages are not an issue like they are in California, Arizona, Nevada, and New Mexico. There's a reason most of Texas' population is on the east side of the state within what's known as the Texas Triangle. And the last reason is labor. And again, this doesn't completely explain it because California also has an abundance of cheap labor, but most immigration, whether legal or illegal, comes up through the Rio Grande Valley. A lot of those migrants end up in Texas, and many of them have always been here, seeing as Texas used to be a part of Mexico, and 1/3 of all Texans, or 10 million people here in Texas, speak Spanish. This brings a lot of affordable labor to Texas, making construction costs cheaper and helps keep the cost of labor low. There you have it, the 4 biggest reasons homes are so cheap here in Texas, even though it's the #1 state that people are moving to in the country. And if you're thinking of moving to the Dallas area, go ahead and follow me for more content about the Dallas housing market.